I'm here in Central Oregon, and I'm really excited about this adventure. It's just a sheer drop-off on both sides. This is going to be a definite adventure. It is really cold. All of the proceeds go to Special Olympics Oregon. Oh, this is not good. This is Death Central down here. I've got all the gear I need to make it through this thing, and this is all happening right now on the wildlife. This is single-handedly the most extreme thing I've ever done in my life. And this is the view from the top of Monkeyfish. The most prehistoric fish that we can even think of right now. That is one big dungeness crab. All over the place. That's all I can do just to hang on. This is the wildlife.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
And here we are, Paulina Lake Lodge. I was sent up here by our friends at Special Olympics Oregon and told I'd get my first set of coordinates here. Paulina Lake Lodge sits in the middle of Newberry Crater. It is the location of my first extreme geocache on this season of the Wildlife. Today, each checkpoint I locate will raise money for Special Olympics Oregon. While I'm getting my first set of coordinates, Jordan is getting ready for his heat in the 400-meter snowshoe race. Jordan is one of 8,000 athletes involved in Special Olympics Oregon.
Jordan developed very typically until about 18 months, and then like many kids with autism, he started to regress and lost some language and lost some ability, and that's when we started to realize something was really going on with him. Special Olympics Oregon has had a huge impact on our family and on my son in particular, on Jordan. They opened up an opportunity for him to try something new within a safe, structured environment.
Jordan's been with us for 7 years, 7 seasons. And when he started, he was 14. He was very quiet. He had limited verbal communication skills.
I was nervous the first day putting Jordan on that bus. Coach Kelly came alongside and she just said, "He's good, Mom, he's good. He'll do it, he'll make it." I needed that reassurance because I know I wanted this for my son. I know he needed it, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Got my coordinates programmed in, and it says I have about a mile this direction over here. Well, right across the lake. So we'll probably go around this direction and start heading that way. Let's saddle up. My coordinates are going to take me southwest towards Paulina Peak. The terrain is completely covered in snow, but I hope to use existing trails to navigate towards my first checkpoint, which is a 1,700-foot climb in elevation. But who knows? With this 177 horsepower machine, I'm going to rip about 8 miles across the crater, find my checkpoint, and raise some money for Special Olympics. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for people that have disabilities. These athletes, they face it head first. Not only do they face it head first, they face it hard. I mean, these are Olympic standard athletes. And to go in there and give them something to help them, it's beyond words. I'm within meters of Paulina Peak, the highest point of the Newberry National Volcanic Monument. It sits at almost 8,000 feet in elevation. In the winter, there's an increased risk for avalanches. Wow, that was a dicey trail. A bunch of really sharp S-curves. Got to lean into the bank really hard, and everything's wide. So a couple of those turns, I didn't see them until I was right there, and I'm having to make a quick decision. But this is Paulina Peak. Over here. This way. Whew. That is a long way down. On a clear day, it's easy to see the sudden drop-offs on Paulina Peak. But on a day like today, with whiteout conditions, I have to be very careful. It's starting to get really steep. Extreme cold doesn't work well with electronics, so I have to resort to searching by sight and ditch using my GPS. This point is narrowing down. and it's just a sheer drop off on both sides. Right here. Here it is. Wow. That is nothing but drop. Checkpoint 2. Victories are won by those willing to play by their entire heart, mind, and soul. And my next checkpoint, the elevation is 6,952 feet. So let's plug this in and see where we have to go.
Coming up on the Wildlife.
100 feet, right here. Gotta be kidding me. 50 feet. This way.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
My GPS is saying that I need to go back this direction. So I'm gonna take this trail off to the right and hopefully cut back. But I'm almost there. Let's do this.
I'll never forget the moment a couple of years ago when it dawned on him that he could win this race. And we were driving up to the mountain and he said to me, "Gold medal." I said, "You want a gold medal this year?" "Gold medal." And he knew what it meant. He knew that gold medal meant being first in the race. And it was amazing how he had the eye of the tiger. He just latched onto that. He knew he wanted a gold medal and he was going to make it happen. And he did. Special Olympics Oregon did that. They provided this opportunity for him to have an understanding of who he is in his skin and who he is in relation to other people. That's huge for us and for him in life. Special Olympics Oregon has changed his world. I will forever be grateful to them for that.
Oh, wow. That cold catches up to you fast. My checkpoint should be right down here, right by the shore. GPS is messing up on me again. Oh, come on. My next checkpoint is supposed to be 100 feet right there. Can't be right. It's got to be here somewhere. No. No, it's not. Looks like we're gonna get wet on this one. We're going in.
While I'm gearing up for my dive into the icy PAULINA Lake, the athletes at Special Olympics Oregon are taking part in day 1 of their Winter State Games. Special Olympics Oregon offers training and competition opportunities to 8,000 individuals with intellectual disabilities. It is an organization that impacts both athletes and coaches like Kelly Valad.
I got involved in Special Olympics because my brother is an athlete back in Michigan, and I started when I was 12 years old coaching and volunteering for the sports that he was in.
Special Olympics demands a lot from its participants. Athletes train intensely for 8 weeks prior to the Winter State Games held annually on Mount Bachelor.
Special Olympics is a sports organization. That's first and foremost. There's a sense of commitment and dedication to wanting to train. And we don't just hang out. I mean, we have a great time, we laugh, but we train and we're serious about it.
The drive to improve and succeed is at the core of every athlete.
My athletes inspire me every time we're on the mountain. Not only are a lot of my athletes facing physical challenges that I would easily give up on. But they do it with a smile, and they do it with energy and drive. It's so inspiring to see that in someone. Not only in someone, but in an entire team.
Got all my gear on. I know roughly where I need to go. It's directly out here underneath the ice. Luckily for me, this whole area is volcanic. You know, it was formed by volcanoes. And this right here is actually a hot spring. That's why this little pool here is not iced over. So this is gonna be my entry and exit point. I need to make this quick, safe, but get in there and get out. Whew. This is going to be a definite adventure.
I personally hate cold water. I really do. I like tropic, I like warm, and to see that my checkpoint was in the water.
Goodness.
It was cold. Freezing water rising up your body, and then it's just this numb, tingling, it's stabbing sensation.
Let's see what it looks like underneath the ice.
The dive is extremely technical and risky. Rather than diving at sea level, I'm at over 6,000 feet in elevation, which cuts my dive time in half. And with water temperatures near freezing, I need to find my checkpoint quickly to avoid hypothermia and diving complications.
It is really cold. I've got my next checkpoint. I need to get out of the water and get warm ASAP.
Coming up on The Wildlife.
This is not good. My gear is so cold that the mechanics of it are freezing up. Okay, come on. You can do this.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
All right, let's see what's next. Oh, it's frozen to the bottom of the box. And it's frozen shut. There we go. Got it. Okay, it says, there's more value in how we react to failures in life than the failure itself. And I've got my coordinates, and my next set of elevation is 6,223. Let's program this in and get moving.
My new coordinates indicate I will be traveling about 2 miles southwest towards PAULINA Falls. Sundown is swiftly approaching, so if I want to get to my third checkpoint before dark, I have to move fast.
I'm frozen to the bone. I'm exhausted. And I still have quite the distance to go. That's why we call it the Wildlife. Let's go cover some ground.
Nice job, man! You did a good job. Thank you. Yeah.
I think if Special Olympics didn't exist, it'd be more challenging to have a community base for other people with special needs. I think the nice thing about the program is it does bring those athletes together.
When I imagine what our life would be without Special Olympics, and specifically Special Olympics Oregon, I picture my son having fewer skills than he has now.
Orange juice. Okay.
I don't know where else he could have gotten the skills of understanding competition and where he would have had such a sense of accomplishment and success. To picture life without those things really makes me sad at the thought of it.
It's not just the athletes and families who are impacted by Special Olympics.
The volunteer part of the program really brings in people who may not have ever been exposed to anyone with special needs. Once they start engaging with things that they're not familiar with, they become more comfortable with it. It has a ripple effect on society.
100 feet, right here. Oh, come on. Gotta be kidding me. 50 feet. This way. Looks like we're going down.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
Set up our anchor point against this guy, and it looks like this is our closest drop. Unfortunately, the two waterfalls cross and converge back into one river right below this. So I have to be very careful where I land. Too far on either side, and the ice is going to be really soft. I'm going to punch right through.
A GPS unit shows you from the sky where your checkpoint is. So anytime you come up to an area and it should be like right here in front of you, 5 feet, and then you realize that it's not 5 feet in front of you, it's 5 feet and 200 feet down, you feel yourself sink a little bit because you're not there. There's still more that needs to be done.
I don't care how many times you do it, there's always that anxiety right before you take the plunge. Here we go.
Out of 3 seasons of the Wildlife, I've never done ice climbing. I've desired to do it, but I've never been able to do it until now. And I've rock climbed, I've rappelled off of cliffs, I've rappelled next to waterfalls, but nothing, absolutely nothing could have prepared me for the intensity of rappelling off of a cliff wall into ice.
Whew! Heart is racing right now. All right, let's get farther out here. This is death central down here. It should be right here. Oh, wait. Here it is, I got it. I'm gonna take the box, strap it to my back, and jog out, plug my coordinates at the top. Here we go. This is not good. My gear is so cold that the mechanics of it are freezing up. It won't flow up the rope the way it's supposed to. Oh.
The last checkpoint, as I'm jugging up the rope, ascending up this line, I got to a point where my energy was completely depleted. I had nothing left in the tank. My gear was freezing up on me. I'm 50 feet above an ice pack, dangling above my possible death.
Okay, come on. Almost there.
I had to take this moment to dig deep down inside of me.
Come on. You can do this.
And realize that there's something so much more at stake than just this moment.
Oh. Let's get the coordinates out of this thing. Plug them in the GPS. Here we go. It says, never lose sight of the prize set before you. Congratulations, you have reached the end.
I finished my adventure at Newberry Crater. Now I just need to travel north to catch up with the Special Olympics athletes on the final day of their Winter State Games.
Well, we finished our adventure up at PAULINA Lake, and it was absolutely extreme. Now we've come here to the Winter State Games. This is Special Olympics Oregon's Winter State Games for the competition. And I've got a little bit of a surprise for them. How you guys doing today? Yeah? Well, I finished my adventure at PAULINA Lake. I made it from start to finish. Yeah, it was awesome. High fives right here. So one thing that I just found out is that you guys have to rent the majority of the gear you use for practices, for competitions, and that just doesn't work for me. So I need you guys to follow me around the corner here. Going for a quick hike. So for this challenge, Comcast Sportsnet and Next Adventure is giving you guys 37 pairs of snowshoes. This is for you guys to use for your practices, for your competitions. It's all yours. Go get your snowshoes. To see the smiles on their faces made me feel like a coach. Like I was able to impart something on them that they can now carry with them and tangibly use. This is the wildlife!
Woo! Third place bronze medal winner, Jordan Schroeder. And second place silver medal winner is Randy Jones.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.